What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another NHL 21 video, and honestly an NHL video in general. In this one I want to talk about captains that I think are meant to be in the future in the NHL. Some of them the very near future, I think. Now quickly, before I mention this, a quick disclaimer. I think that a few guys like Bergeron in Boston, that's too low-hanging fruit, too easy. I really think Bergeron is an absolute shoo-in in Boston, for example. And then I do think there's teams like maybe LA or Arizona, once Ekman Larson is out of there, that haven't found their next captain yet. A team like Minnesota I put in that category. Like, of course they could have like Zach Parise as their next captain, but I think you want somebody who's a bit younger, who you can rely on to be your captain for many years to come, and I think there's a few teams who just haven't found it yet. But that being said, I think there's a bunch who already have it, and here they are. First up, you guys watch this channel, you know I'm a Flames fan, Matthew Tkachuk. This one is an absolute shoo-in. I would be shocked if Tkachuk wasn't the next captain of the Flames. Mark Giordano's getting up there in age, and Tkachuk, at already a young age of 22, has already proven himself to be a great leader, a pest. He's got high skill. He's the team's most valuable player, and he's their heartbeat, and that's the kind of guy you want as a captain. And I know it's a bit odd because he's a winger, and usually it's either the big center or the big defenseman that's the captain, but Tkachuk is just a great leader. He carries guys into the fight. He does everything you could ask for from as a coach and as a teammate. I mean, all the teammates love him. Everybody else in the league hates him, but his teammates adore him, and all the other teams would love a guy like Matthew Tkachuk. So for me, he is the without a doubt far runaway candidate number one to be the next Flames captain. Up next, we got his brother, Brady Tkachuk. Now, this one is a little bit tougher because I think that Thomas Chabot is also very much in the running to be the next captain of the Sens, but I think Brady Tkachuk has already imposed himself greatly, just like his brother in Calgary, and they just have a presence about them. They just have that it factor to be a leader and to be someone that everybody else kind of follows instead of him following. Like, Brady just has that exactly like his brother, and I think he is not a shoo-in because of Chabot, but I do think that they will end up going with Brady because also it seems like everybody in the room just loves him, and he can put up the points to back up his leadership. So he doesn't only talk the talk, but he can also walk the walk. Up next, we got Victor Hedman from the Stanley Cup winning Tampa Bay Lightning. Look, Stamkos has his Stanley Cup, and as far as the salary cap goes and the money that's going to be moved in and out of Tampa Bay, and already has been in this past offseason, I mean, I don't know if they can afford to keep Stamkos for a long period of time, especially with all the injuries and stuff like that. And look, I know Stamkos is the absolute greatest leader you could have. Trust me, he's one of my favorite players in the entire league. And the story about him when he pulled his groin and how he was still there for the guys, if you haven't read it, go ahead and check it out because it's incredible. Shows what a great leader Stamkos is. But I do think that he's going to be on his way out within the next 2 years. He's going to be out of Tampa Bay. And Victor Hedman, the number one defenseman, the anchor, the foundation, to me is the clear choice as the captain. If it's not him, I think it's going to be Braden Point. But I really do think that Hedman has those qualities to become a real captain in the NHL for a long period of time. So I think it's definitely going to be him once the Bolts decide to move on from Stamkos. Up next, we got Dylan Larkin in Detroit. Hometown kid, he's from Michigan. I'm surprised they haven't done this already. I mean, he's their number one center. He's the guy in Detroit. Quite a bad team, but he seems to be quite a good leader at a young age. I'm not comparing him to McDavid in terms of play, but he's that type of guy. A young kid who can come in and make his presence felt right away as a number one center and become the guy. And that's why McDavid was named captain in Edmonton. And I think the same thing should have already happened, but will happen with Larkin in Detroit. I think it's only a matter of time until this guy gets a big ol' C slapped onto his chest. Up next, we got Mark Scheifele. Again, a big number one center. Think of a guy like Joe Thornton, who was a captain in San Jose for many years before they took it away from him, because they do that in San Jose. They're weird. And a guy like Getzlaf in Anaheim, big number one center, the captain. In LA, Anze Kopitar, big boy captain. It's just a theme in the NHL to have this running. And if it's not your number one defenseman, it's your number one center. So I do think that Scheifele is a clear candidate, and it seems like he's an amazing leader and already might be the de facto captain in Winnipeg. I know that Blake Wheeler is a really good leader, but I really don't see him having that much more of a leash with Winnipeg in this next few years, because I do think that he's getting up there in age and they're going to have to replace him soon enough, move out some salary for somebody else, and I think it's only a matter of time before Mark Scheifele becomes the captain of the Winnipeg Jets. I don't see how anybody else could even be considered for this, man. I mean, Paul Maurice has already mentioned on a few occasions that Scheifele is basically like a co-captain, not an alternate captain, a co-captain of the team. So he's basically already like a captain. And yeah, it's only a matter of time. Scheifele is absolutely going to get it. I mean, he's a hockey freak. He's a hockey nerd. He loves the game. He's obsessed with it, and he's really good at it. So I think it's only going to happen very soon for Mark Scheifele and the Jets. All right, lastly here, a bit of a controversial one, because the Blues did just ship out their old captain in Pietrangelo, but I think Ryan O'Reilly, yeah, I think he's going to be the captain of the Blues. I really do, and they might even do it for this upcoming season. He's a great leader, and I know he's had some troubles off the ice, but I feel like he's worked those out. He's become more mature. He's a leader now on and off the ice. He blocks shots. He's a very good, responsible, hardworking, defensive centerman who's in Selke talks every single year, and he's been in talks for the Bill Masterton, so he definitely is a good leader in the room. The Blues people seems to love him over there, and I really do think he is the guy to be the next captain for them. He won the Conn Smythe as well for the Blues, and he's their #1 center. Honestly, to me, he's like the face of the Blues, the face of the franchise. Weird to say, I know, but I think it's Ryan O'Reilly, man. I really do. More than Tarasenko, more than Schwartz, Schenn, all these guys, I really do think it's O'Reilly, and I think it's only a matter of time. I know I've said that how many times. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, but I really do think that Ryan O'Reilly is going to have a C on his Blues jersey very soon. Alright guys, that's it for me on this one. If you want to see a part 2 to this video, leave me some suggestions down below who you think are some captains of the future, and I might make a part 2 to this video. And leave a like on this video and subscribe if it's your first time. I will see you guys in the next one.